without alerting the Elven Queen. He took out the war sand table to examine the surrounding environment. This was not a particularly bustling area, and the sand table revealed no signs of any elves. Were they merely adept at hiding, eluding detection by the sand table, or was this region genuinely devoid of life? According to Sun Hanyu's description, the elven territory was not extensive. Therefore, to avoid detection, their actions must remain discreet. Lu Yu abandoned the notion of searching on Dragonback. Who would have thought that I, a summoner of the abyss, would personally undertake the role of a spy? Lu Yu mused. Brother, we are not spies. We are intelligence officers. Lu Yu could not help but chuckle. In truth, we have already grasped a general understanding of the core areas of the elven tribe. Must we remain so cautious? If it were up to me, I would simply bring the Great Wall Cannon over and unleash a barrage. The naive youth spoke candidly. Although she was an assassin, she found such aimless exploration rather tedious. I, too, yearned to engage directly. But to know oneself without knowing the enemy leads to victory and defeat in equal measure. Information about the elven tribe is nearly non-existent in the outside world. What is their strength? How many fourth transitions do they possess? Is there anything that could rival the Great Wall Cannon? All of this remains unknown. Should we recklessly engage and then discover we are outmatched, it would be quite embarrassing, as we would have unwittingly established a formidable foe. The naive youth pouted and fell silent. She felt her elder brother was being overly cautious. With the power of the Great Wall Cannon, which race could possibly contend? Even if we were to bring it to the dragon's nest, after a few volleys, the nest would surely be devastated. Of course, given the strength of the dragons, it would undoubtedly be the Great Wall Cannon that would be rendered inoperative first. Hush, someone approaches. Lu Yu spotted several elves in the distance, wielding bows and arrows, fluttering their wings as they flew towards their location. A glance at the war sand table revealed no indicators. Indeed, the elven tribe had managed to obscure their presence from the war sand table. Lu Yu turned to the naive youth, who promptly activated stealth mode for the three of them. Moments later, 10 elven archers arrived at the very spot where Lu Yu had just stood. How strange. They were just here. Where have they gone? I don't know. The queen instructed us to invite them, yet now we cannot find them. What should we do? Are they deliberately avoiding us? Let us split up and search. If we cannot find them, we shall return and report. Be particularly courteous to those esteemed guests, especially the gentleman, for he is a treasured guest of the queen. Understood, Captain. The 10 elven archers dispersed, seeking in different directions. Meanwhile, Lu Yu remained, gazing after the departing elves. In their haste to avoid detection, they had been overly cautious, yet the elves had already taken note of their presence. The elven queen wishes to invite me? Lu Yu found this rather perplexing. The elven tribe, unlike the dragon and giant tribes, which had close ties with Sun Hanyu and thus displayed friendliness from the outset, seemed to have no such connection with him. If there were any, Sun Hanyu would surely have informed him. Moreover, during Sun Hanyu's previous visit to the elven tribe, he had not received a particularly warm reception. Was it due to his identity as a summoner from the abyss? If it were possible to subdue the elven tribe without bloodshed, that would indeed be splendid. Yet, Lu Yu, being new to this realm, remained uncertain whether the elven queen genuinely intended to cultivate a friendship or had ulterior motives. Thus, he remained in a state of stealth, choosing not to make his presence known. Brother, do all men prefer it that way? The innocent youth's words interrupted Lu Yu's train of thought. Prefer what? You know, that kind of pure and delicate appearance, dressed rather lightly. Lu Yu withdrew his gaze from the elf. One must admit that the physique of the elven race is quite remarkable, especially since they seem to revere nature, adorning only a few key areas with leaves, leaving their ample fair skin exposed. It invites one's imagination to wander. Stop with such frivolous talk. Lu Yu gently tapped